Hello ACW Universe, my name is Efren Martinez, so welcome to ACW Media Report. And you guys are probably wondering, what is ACW Media Report? Well, let me tell you. ACW Media Report is our own version of ESPN. And I gotta take these headphones off. So I kind of botched. So I actually created two versions of this video. This is actually my third take of making my first episode of Media Report. So I apologize because I botched two times in a row. So here we go again. This is actually the third take on the first episode. So come on, guys, give me a credit. Come on, give me at least a chance on this episode. Just give me a chance on ACW Media Report. So anyways, I kind of botched. I messed up on my recording and all that because the first time it wasn't coming. No, the first time I got interrupted. The second time I had a mic on my headset, but it was muffled. And it was so horrible, and I could have uploaded like that, but no. I had to redo it, and I want to make sure my audio, my voice sounds more clear, and so everybody could listen to this. So, everybody, please give me a chance. Come on. This is my first time on this Media Report, our own version of ESPN. This is what Media Report's all about. But anyways, welcome to the first edition of ACW Media Report. Right here I have my script, so make sure the things I want to talk about instead of just doing everything freestyle. So, there we go. So, welcome to the first episode of ACW Media Report. And you guys are probably wondering, ACW Studios? What is ACW Studios? Well, let me inform you, everybody. We are now rebranding the channel. We went from BYW, which is Backyard Wrestling. Then we decided to change that because everybody's doing BYW, so that's not our thing. So we changed it to Aggressive Championship Wrestling, known as ACW. But wait, we needed like something else, so we decided to rebrand that into ACW Network. So I thought I was kicking ass because network, like that's what we were. We were a channel of a network. We were uploading like podcasts, ACW programming skits, bloopers, behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. But then we took it to a different direction. We decided to convert that into a studio. So we are ACW Studios. And me, I'm Efren Martinez. I'm not Derek Destroyer. Derek Destroyer is the character in the ACW universe. Because me, I guess you could say I'm like a director. I'm like making sure I'm like the guy behind the scenes of ACW. Even though I look identical as Derek Destroyer, don't get me wrong. But anyways, this is ACW Media Report. ACW Media Report started as a thing that took place in the ACW universe. So it would be like, a recap of, this episode or what happened behind the scenes or, inside news of, the news reporter talking to ACW. The fans, but we decided to take that to a different route, and ACW Media Report is now the whole source, like, your news source of the channel, like what happened behind this episode, like the features we're going to give you updates and stuff. So it's kind of like the podcast in a way, but different in a way, because the podcast mostly focuses on the podcast. Meanwhile, the Media Report focuses on the channel. Like, you can tell it's kind of different in a way. But anyways, Let's do a recap of ACW Universe so everybody can know what happened recently on the ACW wrestling program. So in episode 101, War 101, Derek and Psycho face each other off in a 1-on-1 contest, and the winner of that match will face Torch for the YouTube Championship. So the result of that match, Psycho defeated Derek Destroyer, and Psycho will in fact face Torch for the YouTube Championship, which that match was supposed to take place. The Torch versus Psycho for the YouTube Championship was supposed to take place at Money in the Case, but I will get back to the Money in Case situation real soon. But anyways, Psycho will face Torch for the YouTube Championship. But earlier in that episode, Cerebral Assassin encountered with Mason and interrupted Mason's speech of becoming the ACW champion that Mason won at War 100, the 100th episode. But now it wasn't just a regular one-on-one match. Cerebral wanted Mason in a tables match. So fast forward to the next episode, War 102. But early in that episode, Psycho came out to open the show. He kicked off the episode and he made a message. He left a message to Torch saying that he will become the next champion, that he's a better champion, that he will be a better champion than Torch. Because unfortunately we have heard nothing from Torch. And hopefully Torch shows up for Money in the Case, which hopefully we get to film Money in the Case pretty soon, hopefully. For the main event, we had Cerebral Assassin versus Mason in a tables match. But so unfortunately, Mason was unable to successfully retain that title, and we had crowned a new ACW World Champion. So Cerebral Assassin, congratulations on becoming ACW Champion. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, another topic, was the BTW recap, which that episode, or the entire BTW recap will take place in the next episode of Media Report, because, Derek Destroyer and Skullface were both featured in BTW Season 4 and Season 5, if I'm correct. I think those are the 2 seasons. I hope I'm not off, because I know they were featured in both of the seasons, and I just want to give like a recap of the entire run of both of the wrestlers that took place in BTW. So that would be the next episode of Media Report. The future of ACW. So we decided to change ACW Studios. We are now ACW Studios. So ACW Studios is going to be mostly focusing on making content, actually filming, because we actually love the idea of filming, especially me, because I created ACW because I love filming. I got to bring the boys together. We got to have fun. We create, just create moments that are unspectacular, and that makes me think about ACW now. That's what ACW is and will always be and should be. It's us making content, just filming, whether if it's ACW related, wrestling related, or even just making small projects like skits and stuff like that, because that's what we want to do. Okay, me personally, with my friends, ACW is what's holding us together. Literally, it's holding by a thread, literally, because of ACW. So I want to thank ACW and the ACW universe, you guys, the fans, personally. So thank you for being our fan, and we will keep making content. I promise you, we will be making content. ACW is not ending, even though a while back I made a video called "This is the end of ACW" or something like that. But because right now my situation is I moved out my hometown because I wanted to be with my girlfriend. And I've been talking to my girlfriend, and we decided to move back to my hometown, and I get to be able to work on these projects, and hopefully the projects that my girlfriend wants to do, her dream, she could be able to do it in my hometown, just like how the projects that I want to do in ACW, we get to be able to do it, because ACW is my dream. That's my vision, because I have a vision for ACW, and I don't want all that to just be up here. I want to expand my vision through the lens of the camera, so everybody could see, my creation, my masterpiece that I want to create for everybody. So everybody can enjoy the content, let's say that. The next segment, Beyond the Yard. What happened to Beyond the Yard? And to break it down with you, sorry if my words are not coming out as I wanted to, but Beyond the Yard podcast, that has so much potential, and it still has potential. The Beyond the Yard podcast is not over. I repeat, it's not over, because I want to keep making ACW content. But I'm going to take Beyond the Yard, I'm going to, reform it, if that makes sense. Because back then, it was, Derek Destroyer interviewing different wrestlers from different channels. Yeah, that was that. But now I decided to, take it back a place. Take it back a base. Because what I want to do is, I want to do the podcast monthly, but I want to be talking about, topics that, took place within that month or whatever. Or, if it's, wrestling related, we make predictions and reactions and just talk about it. But that's what the podcast should be about. I don't want it to just be me on the, as the host itself, but I also want to have other people, let's say, Michael, Mason, in camera, off, character or not. I want them to be a part of this podcast, because there's just so much stuff we could talk about, let alone just one person talking. They can't really socialize with other people, let alone just the camera, which is referring to you guys. There's another series that I want to work. I don't know if you guys, when you guys watch movies, right before the movie, on DVD, if you go to the audio selection, you could put subtitles of different languages. There's an option where you could put the director's commentary or something like that. So what I'm saying, that I want to create a new series on the channel called ACW Director's Commentary Series, playlist, whatever it's called. But the whole idea of that concept is that from the first episode of ACW to, let's say, or latest, for instance, let's say Devil's Night, so the first episode leading to the future episodes that are coming out, I want to do kind of me talking about the story behind that episode. So I wouldn't say it's a reaction, because ACW Reacts is going to be a different project that I'm going to be working on, but it's not necessarily just going to be me reacting to that episode. It's going to be me and the other people that are involved in that video reacting to it, and just so you can see how they're kind of different but similar. So it's yes but no, but yeah, I kind of popped my finger. I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, that's one project that I want to work on. I don't know what season we are. ACW programming season, ACW wrestling season. I think we're in the 7th, but we might have to make a new season. But that's embarrassing if we have to make a new season, because the new season would be season 8, And the season 7, the season that we're in, only has 2 episodes, and that's embarrassing. Only having 2 episodes in that season, like, damn, like, come on. Now, I don't know if we could do that. But what I'm trying to say is, this season that we're in may be the last season of ACW wrestling. And I know that sounds awful, but that doesn't mean that's going to be the end of ACW. But I'm just saying that's going to be the end of, or that's just, let me rephrase that again. It might not be the end of ACW, but it's going to be the end of ACW wrestling. The show, because it's our show. ACW wrestling is our show. Provided by ACW Studios. So anyways, let's move that on to the next segment. I don't know why I'm saying segment. I mean, that's just how I have it scripted, so I could understand. So I could know what topics to talk about, what's next, and stuff like that. Okay, so bear with me. This is my first episode. Hopefully it doesn't botch. Please, hopefully everything is recording, because I want to upload this on YouTube and also the other streaming platforms. So if you're a Spotify listener, this is kind of like a podcast in a way, but it's just giving you like updates of the channel. That's what the Media Report is all about. It's updates of the channel. So anyways, ACW will continue. I think I already stated that. I'm moving back home to my hometown to continue the ACW Studios. There's a reason why we changed it to ACW Studios, because, we love filming. Don't get me wrong. I love, writing scripts and recording and editing and uploading them and letting, the fans, you guys, being able to watch it, because I want you guys to, be able to, see the kind of stuff we produce and stuff, because, believe it or not, in 2024, we want to make a short film. And what's funny about that short film, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but I'm just going to give you a little detail. So years ago, the original posse of ACW, we created a short film on Michael's mini iPad, just to be exact. So we created this short film, and we actually filmed it the same day that we talked about it, because what's funny about that is that we were just freestyling. We didn't have it was an improv movie, whatever we thought of, we'll shoot that, and it was funny because I had a lot of action scenes and stuff like that, but Michael lost the footage on his iPad, so we were never able to recover that, resurface that, but the story still lives, because I have reinvented, is that the word? Revamped? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I revived the story, and that's a story that we want to try to recreate and film and produce pretty soon in 2024. So, ACW Universe, be your eyes, because that will be coming pretty soon. Like I already said earlier about the podcast situation, there will be more podcast content coming out pretty soon. I guess you could kind of say Media Report will also be a podcast in a way, which on YouTube, it's just going to give you guys updates of the channel, which, if you're on the podcast, it's kind of the same thing, but you're just hearing me instead of watching the visuals, because because on YouTube, if you're watching this, there'll be overlays of, text and stuff like that. So that's that. There's 3 things I want to say before I end this episode of Media Report. 3 very important things. The first episode, in the ACW Studios, the studios has created a production name, brand, whatever you want to call it. So within the ACW universe, there's Afro Nation Productions. And no, I am not just slapping Afro Nation onto productions, just calling it a day. No. So personally, I have my own channel called Afro Nation. I don't know if everybody knows that. So there's ACW Studios and there's Afro Nation. And in the middle, Afro Nation Productions. I wouldn't say Afro Nation Productions is going to be a new channel, but it's going to be a thing that's going to be connecting both Afro Nation and ACW Studios. So whether once we start with our film, it all makes sense now. They're both going to go hand to hand, ACW Studios and Afro Nation Productions. They're going to come hand in hand in the long run. So that's that. That's number 1. Excuse me. Number 2, I've been thinking about it a lot recently, especially, after the events of Devil's Night 2, which took place last year. Could you believe that? Last year. I want to do, how will I reveal this? I don't know, this is difficult to say. It's not really a spoiler, but this is just, inside information. But anyways, there is works in ACW documentary. So pretty much it's going to be explaining, the journey from the beginning of ACW to, our latest journey of ACW. So pretty much the documentary is for the new fans that don't know what ACW is. They get to experience the journey that we have. But for the viewers that have been with us throughout the years, it's going to be a re-journey. So you guys get to re-experience, ACW as a whole new thing, but then again, go down to memory lane. That's what the documentary is gonna be like in a way. So that's in the works. And the last thing that I want to say is it's really like big news. I swear it's really big news. Like I don't know what bigger news. I don't know what other news than this is. This is like so Brave, or is it Braves? No, I keep messing it up. I even mess up on the last two projects, the last two takes, so I apologize. So, brace yourselves, ACW Universe, ACW Studios, because ACW Studios has owned the rights. Are you ready? To TWF Wrestling. So, I gotta clap because that's badass. So, we have the rights to TWF content because, the owners of TWF, me and him, we have talked about it and like we own the rights. So there will be new content of TWF wrestling onto the ACW studios. So, get ready for that because that's actually good news and you guys are going to see TWF in a whole different way, like never seen content like before. I don't know. It's pretty late. I mean, honestly, like I'm recording this like middle of the night and I haven't slept, so I apologize because I botched on the last two takes, honestly. So this is my third take. I hope this is the better take. I hope everybody can hear me perfectly, see me perfectly. And I think that's everything that I talked about, right? I'm just double checking everything's right. Yeah. So hopefully everybody enjoyed this first edition of Media Report. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about, but that's just going to be on the future projects. And like how I stated in my last take that I'm revealed right now. So my problem with ACW was, so I had a bunch of projects that I wanted to do for ACW, but I didn't really have a deadline because I was too focused on doing all these projects at the same time, and that's what kind of failed me to deliver, and I apologize. I hope everybody could like forgive me because honestly, there's like the other cast members or the crew members and stuff. It's not really their fault, it's my fault because I'm the one that, promoted all this, like Money in the Case. Let's talk about that real quick. So Money in the Case was a pay-per-view that was supposed to be uploaded on September 30th, but was never uploaded. As a matter of fact, we actually filmed an episode leading up to it, one third percent of that episode. We filmed it because, the segment that happened in that episode was a match that happened at Money in the Case, because at Money in the Case we had 3 matches, scheduled, or, how would I call it? Listed, okay? Yeah, listed, okay? Those matches were listed for Money in the Case. We had ACW Championship for the ACW Championship. The second match was for the YouTube Championship. And the third match and the main event was supposed to be Money in the Case ladder match. But unfortunately, we weren't able to, film the other 2 matches because, we didn't really have a deadline. And I wasn't really focused on that really well. So I apologize for everybody that I let down. Please, hopefully everybody could forgive, not necessarily ACW, but, forgive me because I'm the one that, failed you guys. And I also failed myself in the progress. But now my main goal for ACW Studios is when I have a project, I want to work on that project alone. Put the other projects that I want to work. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to work on those projects, but I'm going to put those projects aside, focus on the project that I'm looking at right now, have a deadline for it, and hopefully, I deliver because that's what I want to do. I want to have a project, have a deadline, deliver it, then move on to the next project and have a deadline for that and also deliver that and go on in the next and the next and the next. So that's my goal for ACW Studios. So thank you everybody for watching ACW Media Report. If you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, hit us up on Instagram if you're interested in buying ACW merch. The link for that will be down in the description. So I don't know if there's anything else I want to talk about. I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, I pretty much just talk about all the things that I wanted to talk about. But let's just see what happens on the next episode of Media Report, which the next episode... I'm sorry. Tongue twist, I guess. But the next episode of Media Report will, in fact, be the entire recap of BTW. Not the entire BTW wrestling, but the only... from the events from when the first time ACW, took place in BTW. So, when Derek Destroyer, debuted from BTW, when Skullface made his debut in BTW, all that leading up to the events of the... What was the last thing that they filmed? I think it was... I apologize. I'm trying to remember. November to Remember. See, now I don't remember because it's December. But anyways, from the first time those wrestlers made their debut from BTW to their last episode, or the last content that they film featuring those wrestlers in ACW. So thank you. Bear with me, please. Bear with this. Come on, give this a chance. Give ACW Studios a chance, because we are ACW Studios and we are back because the boys are back in town. We're coming pretty soon. Because 2024, get ready, guys. 2024 will be the year that me personally, will be cooking ACW Studios to you guys, because I'm going to be cooking a masterpiece for you guys. I'm going to be cooking because 2024 is going to be a grind. And I want to finish off the year strong, because I want to deliver 2024 on a silver platter, on a buffet that all you can eat, because that's my goal for 2024. So thank you, ACW Universe. If you're watching this, have a good morning, have a good day, have a good night, and we will see you in the next media report. Efren Martinez, signing off.